This is where everyone else quits, which is exactly why I can't. Welcome back to my collegiate track and field series, where I'm training unattached and pursuing my dream of becoming a D1 800 runner at the University of Washington. After a disappointing end to my freshman year, where I tied my personal best of 155, I started the summer anxious for proof of my abilities. Alongside my new coach and my old training partner Joel, I brushed myself off and began training again. In mid-July, it became clear that I needed to cut weight. For the last 3 years, I've been consistently putting on muscle for my calisthenics and Muay Thai training. But after running slower and slower, I finally connected the dots and decided to cut out everything that didn't directly improve my running. The results were immediate. I cut from 165 down to 150, then eventually evened out at 160, which turned out to be my most functional weight. I manufactured my entire environment to suit my running progress, adding mobility, extra strength work, and cold showers to my mornings. I began stretching 3 times a day to the point where I became oddly flexible, and even though I had no direct proof that these changes would improve my running, if there was a chance they would, then that was enough for me. When the school year started, I felt stronger and faster than I ever had before, hitting workouts like 3x500 in 112, 10x200 in 28, and 6x200 in 26. I had all the confidence in the world going into the indoor track season, and expected no less than a 155 in my season opener.
Getting run down from behind after relaxing with about now as the leader. As a couple of home stretch will happen here on the back stretch. Guard Burgess is going to celebrate with a definitive win.
Let me guide you to E5. The light. Let me guide you to E5. The light. 'Cause there ain't no way. Feel like taking over. 'Cause there ain't no way. No way. Go to the pressure of the outside. Come to me. Let me help you. 'Cause I just can't stay here. Stagnant under pressure. Let me guide you.
And so, we're back. I just wrapped up the track, and it's these rainy, foggy, cold days that really get you questioning, why am I doing this? What really are the chances of making a Division I team? Mainly alone too. And the only thing that keeps me in it, honestly, is the fact that I made a promise to myself. I promised that I would accomplish something, or at least give 100% of what I have in pursuit of that something. And it's that desire to be victorious, I guess. Almost like in ancient times where you go into war, where young men would desire to go off to war and prove themselves. I guess in some twisted way, this is me going to war. But Not to actual war, thank God, but going to war with my own mind. Because there are so many times every day where I just want to quit. But that's as simple as it is. You just don't quit. After indoor, I took it one step further and started exploring manifestation by visualizing success and physically saying and writing, "I am the best," every day without fail. I did my best to reset and focus on preparing for outdoor. Though my times hadn't been what I wanted, I had consistently gotten faster, and I needed to believe that would continue. While I was trying to forget about my shortcomings, Joel was dealing with his own challenges as well. Though he'd set a PR in the 400 hurdles and had tied his 400 PR during the indoor season, he continued to battle recurring injuries and ended up missing the majority of his indoor and outdoor track races. Neither of us was having this handed to us, to say the least. I continued to win the battle against my mind, but couldn't help notice that physically I was starting to feel flat. The 26s I had dropped in the winter began to slow to 27s and 28s, and I wasn't able to touch the 1:23.600 time trial I'd run in December. I forced myself not to overthink it though, and began my outdoor track season in late March with something to prove. I could give 100 excuses as to why these races didn't go how I wanted them to, but I'm not about that. What I will say is that with the arrival of April, I began to grow desperate for a fast time, just one, and didn't hesitate to drive 3, 4, 5 hours every weekend, both ways, just to get that chance. At the same time, my aerospace engineering classes were getting harder and harder, and I was managing my time more precisely than ever before to make things work. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. We're at the track, outside of it, doing 200s in the parking lot. The coaches had a full day today, and wasn't room for me on the track. And I respect that, of course. But I'm here in the parking lot, measuring out a 200-meter course, getting my reps in, because it's kind of just my way of showing myself and the world that it's not enough to make me miss a workout. Nothing is. If that was a war, I'd be dead. So, I'm at a rest stop about 2 hours into my drive back home. It's 4 hours back tonight, and last night, because of traffic, it was 5 hours here. And I'll be honest, like, having all this time to drive back and just wallow in my sorrow, it really starts to make me think, like, what if I just, wrapped up the year, maybe ran 155, 154 at the end of the year, and then over the summer, did high rocks, or started training for high rocks. What if I just did that and then suddenly became, amazing in that? And I think the main reason I'm thinking about that is because, like, I like watching high rocks in my free time, and all that CrossFit, Spartan race stuff really interests me. I'm probably going to do it after college and after the track stuff is done. That is probably my next move, but the doubts just make me start genuinely considering switching to that and doing that. Because I know I'm gonna be a beast at that. But like, it's so humbling to be at the track and get kicked off and, you know, promise myself I'm gonna show them like who they're messing with, and then run 158, get 4th place in my heat in a random D3 race that I drove 500 miles for in total. 500 miles to run 158. Like, if that doesn't make you rethink your decisions, I don't know what does. So I figured I would make this entry just to show that, like, this is probably one of the most doubtful moments I've experienced. The last race last year when I ran 157, that was another doubtful moment. But I came back from that. And I'll probably come back from this too. But, man, I got 2 hours more to drive. And, like, I'm just so disappointed in myself. It's just, it's hard to explain to people that can't relate. Yeah. Nothing more to say. Looking back, this was the most important moment of my season. I was seriously considering quitting, but decided I would rather be someone who commits fully and fails than someone who quits when the odds are against me. Sure, I wasn't the ultra-fast 800 guy I wanted to be just yet, but I was becoming the man my childhood self had dreamed of being. I was becoming a man who faced daunting challenges without flinching. A man who could one day set a positive example for his kids, and a man who considers a 158 as an underperformance. Now that was something to be proud of. After this day, I viewed success as showing up without fail, having faith in myself no matter what, and continuing to give 100% on the day. And what do you know? In my second to last race, I ran a season best of 156.3, which felt like proof that I wasn't necessarily falling off. Well, today is the last key workout of the season, and you may notice I've entered my final form, wearing the Truett Haynes Die Trying t-shirt, and I'm just ready. I'm ready to prove myself, and I know I'm strong enough now to take on whatever may come. Today we have 600 at 125, so basically what I should be coming through 600 in during the race. 8 minutes rest, and then 2x200 at 27 seconds with 3 minute rest. Let's do it. In my final race of the season, I gave everything I had, and it was almost poetic that I ran 158 yet again, because this time the same result didn't discourage me. This time, I had already overcome my hardest challenge, the urge to quit. I had realized how grateful I was for the chance to even compete at these races, for the chance to even try. How grateful I was to have the money to make these drives every weekend, to have the ability to buy good shoes, to have family, friends, and coaches that supported my lifestyle and goals, and to have a body that I can push like this. Most of all, I'm thankful for the experiences that have built me up this season, for the chance to compete again, this time knowing that I have become